This is a story called The Little Monsters at Christmas, Chapter 43. Stumpy's grandparents come to stay for Christmas. The gang are all at Stumpy's house playing on his trampoline when their doorbell goes and Stumpy's mum says to him, "Stumpy, answer the door, please." Stumpy answered the door and he was surprised to see his grandparents stood there. "Grandma, Grandad, how come you're here?" said Stumpy. "Ready to stay over Christmas, sweetheart," said Stumpy's grandma. Stumpy gave his grandparents a big hug and then his grandad said, "Well, are you going to let us in or are you going to leave us out here on the doorstep in the freezing cold, son?" "Oh, I'm sorry, Grandad. Come in and sit down. You too, Grandma," said Stumpy. "Mum, Dad, are you guys hungry? Because I'm just about to make tea for everyone," said Stumpy's mum. "Yeah, we're starving," said Stumpy's Grandad. "Yeah, I'm hungry too, Mum," said Stumpy. The rest of the gang looked at each other and then at Stumpy and said all together, "You're always hungry, Stumpy." "Oh, whatever, guys. Is tea ready yet, Mum?" said Stumpy. "Oh, why did I have to mention food?" "Yes, Stumpy, tea's nearly ready," said Stumpy's mum. Everyone laughed and then they sat down to eat. That night the kids stayed at Stumpy's for a sleepover. The following day, just before lunchtime, there was a knock on Stumpy's door again. When he opened it, it was his grandparents on his dad's side were there. "Dad, Granny and Pops are here," said Stumpy. "OK, son, let them in. It's freezing outside," said Stumpy's dad. "Mum, can I go outside? Can I go out for a bit with the others, please?" asked Stumpy. "Yeah, but don't you want to spend time with your grandparents?" said Stumpy's mum. "Yeah, but they're going to be here until after Christmas and I don't want to be stuck in all that time," said Stumpy. "OK, you can go. Are you all coming back here or going home?" said Stumpy's mum. "If it's OK, Mum, please can everyone come back here again?" asked Stumpy. "Yeah, of course, as long as they let their parents know. You kids better ring them now before you go out," said Stumpy's mum. Everyone rang their parents and whilst they weren't on the phone they asked their parents if they could stay out until 9:30 p.m. They all said yes, the kids were only going to the haunted house to play games. When they got back to Stumpy's, they were 10 minutes late and Stumpy said to his mum, "I'm sorry we're late, Mum, we got carried away playing." "It's OK, son. We knew where you were. If you guys had have been any longer, we would have come for you," said Stumpy's mum. "So you're not mad at me and I'm not in trouble?" asked Stumpy. "No, sweetheart, I'm not mad at you and you're not in trouble, because I knew where you were," said Stumpy's mum. "Stumpy, where is this haunted house you kids keep going to?" asked Stumpy's Pops. "It's the house that you and Dad grew up in, Pops," answered Stumpy. "You mean our old house is still there, Jim?" Stumpy's Pops asked his dad. "Yeah, Dad, it's still there. I can't bring myself to sell it," answered Stumpy's dad. "I have so many memories of growing up in the house, some bad and some good, and tomorrow I'd like to go there if it's OK, said Stumpy's Pops. "Of course, Dad, we'll all go and maybe you can tell us what happened there," said Stumpy's dad. "You've already told us, Dad," said Stumpy. "Yeah, but I haven't told you everything, son, because there's things that only your Pops can tell you. Right now, son, it's almost 11:30 p.m, so I think that we should all go to bed," said Stumpy's dad. Everyone went to bed and the next day Stumpy's mum put together a picnic for everyone, and she also packed some warm blankets for everyone. Then they all made their way to the haunted house. When they got there, Stumpy's Pops got a bit emotional. "What's the matter, Pops?" asked Stumpy. "I haven't been in this house in many, many years, not since your grandma died in here." The memories are so fresh, it's like everything that happened just now. I've never really spoken about what happened in this house to your granny here. Pops, if it's too upsetting for you, then you don't have to tell us what happened here, said Stumpy. It's okay, Stumpy, I don't mind. You see, there was at least 3 generations that were born in this house, including me and my siblings. Your great-great-great-granddad built this house by himself, but he could only afford to buy enough lumber to build a 2-bedroomed house. Excuse me. He had 10 kids, 6 girls and 4 boys, but most of them died from diseases such as cholera and typhus. Those that were left went on to have families of their own, but they all lived in this house because they couldn't afford to live anywhere else. Those that survived continued to live here because they had nowhere else to go. When your great-great-granddad was born, he had a really good childhood to start off with, despite the cramped conditions in this house. However, one day when he was about 13 years old, he came home from school and saw his dad and his oldest brother, who was 20, being stabbed to death in this very room where he stood in. He took his younger siblings and hid until the murderers were gone. When the police came, they stayed hidden because they knew that they would be taken away. As soon as the police were gone and the bodies had been taken away, they went back in the house and packed up their stuff. They knew that the police would be back to take them away, so they hid in the woods in an old empty shack that had been abandoned. After a few days, the police stopped looking for them, so they went back home. They continued to live there for many years, and they all married and had families of their own. One of them had 8 kids, and all except 3 of them died of influenza. Many years later, me and my siblings came along. There were 6 of us, and thankfully we survived despite us all getting a severe case of influenza. We grew up in this house and we made many happy memories. However, when I was 15 and my older brother was 18, he was murdered in this house, and I saw everything. Don't let all of that scare you though, because despite all the bad times, there were good times too. There were some very happy memories made in this house. The old toys in this house are over 100 years old because they were handed down from generation to generation. The bed's also very old because that's been there for about 80 years. Of course, the mattress has been changed many times, but no one has lived here for over 30 years, said Stumpy's Pops. Wow, Pops, that's one heck of a story. You know, we've been here a few times, even at night, and there's been some strange things happen, said Stumpy. Like what, Stumpy? Asked Stumpy's dad. Like, we'll put something down and all of a sudden, while no one is moving, it'll fly across the room. Or we'll move something and when we look round, it'll be back where we got it from. Last night, we were sat playing Monopoly when the board suddenly tipped over. Then we heard weird noises and the door kept opening and shutting. That's why we were let home, because we were too scared to move, said Stumpy. Jesus, Stumpy, I wondered why you were all drift white and a bit quiet when you came home last night, said Stumpy's mum. Yeah, it was proper scary, Mum, but I'm not scared now that I know what happened here, said Stumpy. Then his pop said to everyone, Stumpy, everyone, we're moving back here, and if it's okay with you, Jim, we'd like to live in this house. Of course, before we move in, we need to sort out everything that needs repairing, redecorate and put our new furniture in. If it's okay, we'd like to stay with you, Jim, until the house is ready for us to move into. Of course it's okay with me, Dad. It's your house anyway. It does mean, though, that kids, that you won't be able to come and play here whenever you want, said Stumpy's dad. It's okay, Dad. Pops, when you move in, please can we come over and have a... I'll be more than welcome. You're good kids, all here, said Stumpy's Pops. Thanks, Pops, said Stumpy, giving him a big hug. Come on, everyone, let's eat, said Stumpy's mum. Oh, good, I'm hungry, said Stumpy. The gang looked at each other, laughed, and then looked at Stumpy and said all together, You're always hungry, Stumpy. Everyone laughed, ate their lunch, and then went home. End of chapter 43. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye. Love yous. Bye.